Where Winds Meet is one of the biggest, most entertaining, engaging open world action RPGs of the last year. This is a game that I enjoyed. This is a game that my wife, Mrs Stix, has played more than I think any other game in the last year. They're releasing a brand new version 2.0, which introduces 4 new main areas, 14 sub-regions, 10 plus new bosses, 8 new Jianghu legacies, dozens of side stories, new methods of traversal, a new Sectamoist hill, new combat overhauls, the new gauntlet weapon. So much is included and condensed into this major 2.0 expansion. So if you have been putting off playing or returning to Where Winds Meet, this is the time to get in and play. You can do so by clicking my sponsored link down in the description and the pinned comment below. What I want to do today is, sure, talk a little bit about the new update, but I also want to talk about how Where Winds Meet has effectively changed the MMO landscape, how they have evolved the genre completely, entirely. And I want to invite both Mrs Stix and another content creator friend of mine, Barky, to discuss. That way it's not just me sitting here. I have very finite, limited knowledge of Where Winds Meet because I haven't played it nearly as extensively as both of these people have. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
Hey guys, I am Mrs Stix. I am the other half of Married to Gaming channel, or even the Stixy channel, which is Stix's Gotcha channel. I am here because I am a huge Where Winds Meet fan. I have been playing since the betas for Global and have not missed a day until Anime Expo for logging in to Where Winds Meet every single day, and I'm super excited about Hidden Mountain coming, and I'm excited to be here to talk about this versus MMOs. And also, you know, I have this wonderful guild called Crash Out in Where Winds Meet if you guys want to join it. And then, of course, since we're having this conversation, I had to invite one of my guild members and also content creator for Where Winds Meet, Barky, in with us.
Hello everyone, I'm Barky. I've been playing gacha games and MMOs for a very long time, and I'm pretty much addicted to them. On my YouTube channel, I make guides and cover the latest updates for the games that I'm playing. And right now, I mainly cover Where Winds Meet because it has MMO and gacha in it, which is basically my dream game. And huge thanks to Stix for having me here.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. I've seen a bunch of your videos. You're one of the best Where Winds Meet content creators out there right now.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not there yet, but thank you so much. Yeah, I get shy. Yeah.
We're all longtime MMO players. We've been playing MMOs for decades. I've been personally playing MMOs since back in the early 2000s. Over the last several years, though, I think the MMO genre has stagnated to some extent. There are lots of content creators, lots of players that have left the MMO genre for other games, other genres. This is where Winds Meet came in. Where Winds Meet is essentially what MMOs are evolving into. It's a hybrid of both single player, multiplayer, taking elements from MMOs and single player games and kind of just condensing them into this new type of package. What I wanted to do today was talk to two very deeply involved Where Winds Meet players and kind of compare the game in its current form to MMOs, and then discuss how the MMO genre has evolved and is going to continue evolving with Where Winds Meet as kind of like a new foundation or a new baseline. So in your guys' opinions, how do you think the MMO genre is doing right now, and how do you think Where Winds Meet relates to current and future MMOs?
So currently, I think the MMO genre is actually evolving. I don't think we necessarily know what the end result of the MMO genre is going to be, because we now have this new mode of playing MMOs, which is mobile. So I think a lot of games are actually moving over to mobile platform. So we're getting a lot more cross-play for MMOs, and I don't think the player base is exactly happy about that in the West. Over in the East, it seems to be doing really, really well for them. That's popping off. But for us in the West, I think mobile is just so new, and that we took so long to actually get good mobile cross-play variations of games that we just have a sour taste in our mouth, is just my take of it. But I feel like Where Winds Meet is really coming into the MMO aspect in a lot of different ways, but it's definitely not an MMO. It's not your traditional MMO. It's MMO adjacent. I feel like this potentially will be the future of MMOs, because I think a lot of people nowadays are having to take multiple jobs. Like the expenses of life have continued to just grow higher and higher. I don't know necessarily if our younger MMOers are having less free time as well. Maybe they're having to get part-time jobs as well. I mean, I had a part-time job when I was younger, but still made time for gaming. But we don't have the time to dedicate really to traditional MMOs anymore. And if we do, we're going for kind of like the three top MMOs because that's where the nostalgia is. That's where we have most of our friends at, and Where Winds Meet, I think, comes in the middle ground with that. I would say, since it is MMO adjacent, I know a lot of content creators are just calling it a straight up MMO. I would say it's more like a hub-based MMO than anything, but you have this nice hybrid aspect where you can play the game almost essentially by yourself. If you would like to, you can have hours and hours of just fun time just playing by yourself. Or you can spend a lot of the time actually experiencing a very social aspect. And I think where I differ from Barky in a lot of this is I spend a lot of time with our guild and just chatting with our guild members and doing things in a party together, and sometimes, dragging Barky out of his shell and making him come with us as well, with his wonderful, girl Carvey as well. But it's a lot of socialization that is potential there, because you do have a lot of PvP, you have raids, you have dungeons, you have exploration that can all be done cooperatively. And especially like the world boss fights, like there's a lot of people asking in world chat, can somebody come help me go kill this? So I've met a lot of strangers just for being like, oh yeah, I'll just go help this person go kill this boss in the world really fast. And sometimes it's a lot harder because they're on a higher difficulty level than I am, but I still go in and I help them because that's, the social thing to do and part of the fun and charm of this kind of hybrid MMO game.
Real quick, before Barky answers, I do want to point out, since you did touch on the social aspect and also mobile, that I feel like the genre is also moving in two different directions. There are a lot of cross-platform MMOs coming out, so they are coming out onto mobile, because console and PC have been predominantly the major platforms for MMOs up until this point, but mobile gaming has exploded. There have been a lot of gacha games that are now amassing in the tens of millions of monthly concurrent players, so mobile is a very prominent, I think, platform in the gaming market now. But beyond mobile functionality, there's also, I think, the MMO genre was comprised of like the multiplayer aspects, the social aspects, and then things like PvP, and then the single player storytelling and narrative. So I think content creators and players are kind of transitioning over to other games beyond MMOs as well, such as multiplayer survival games that offer the multiplayer and social aspect, along with gacha games that are single player experiences and provide that single player RPG narrative. And that's also where I think Where Winds Meet comes into play, since it offers that single player narrative, and it also offers like a lot of social multiplayer experiences as well.
Yeah, I mostly agree with Mrs Stix that the MMO genre is evolving, and I think it's evolving in a good way, but some people like it, some people don't. And as for Where Winds Meet, I think it's like a action RPG MMO. That's the new genre, I believe the name is, and it's like a fast-paced. I mean, in the old school MMOs, you would spend weeks or months leveling up and, grinding for gear. Just like Mrs Stix stated, like some people work full-time, some people work part-time, and it would be your job. But as for the Where Winds Meet, it's a new, I think, new generation of MMOs. It's like a fast-paced, and due to its gacha style, also it's like a releasing content really fast. For example, like some old school MMOs, you would wait for like 2 years, maybe like more than 2 years to get the content we get in Where Winds Meet in the last 3 months. I think this is like this is the reason I like Where Winds Meet a lot, because we get content very fast, new zones, new weapons, new classes. I mean, you name it. I think the future is gonna be like the Where Winds Meet style of MMOs. And we're gonna be seeing lots of copycats in the future.
I would actually like to challenge Barky in regards to the content that we're getting fairly quickly, because what I would state is Global is actually getting very spoiled here, because we are getting a lot of content very quickly because they are trying to catch us up to CN. And CN has actually gone through quite a long period, almost 2 years period now, of waiting an extensive amount of time for content, but they are perfectly happy waiting for that content.
Actually, that's true. Like, I mean, there's like a good part of it and the also bad part of it, because the good part is we got lots of content. You know, it's just like if you're like a MMO enjoyer, you would, as I said, you would have to wait years for them to drop. But like if you're like a casual player, it would be overwhelming. You know, because too much content and it's like a suffering from success type situation.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it would be so overwhelming because we had a big like a very big zone, like less than a month ago. Now we are just getting a bigger zone with the 2.0 and with the visuals updates and everything. So it would be overwhelming for casual players. But yeah, I would just take it any day than old school MMOs that would just play the same zone for 2 years to drop a new zone, but then getting a new zone every 2 months. Yeah.
No, I come from a generation where we would spend like 6 months to a year with no major updates. You'd be stuck at the same, I don't know, like dungeon or the same raid cycle sometimes for over a year. Whereas I think the content cadence in gacha games, and this is where I also think that Where Winds Meet is taking a little bit of inspiration from gacha games, because the content cadence and the cycle with which content is released is pretty significant when compared to your standard MMO. So in MMOs where they release a major patch, you know, once or twice a year, and then people would be able to burn through it in like a week or two, then you'd have nothing to play for the entire rest of the year. Where Winds Meet has this like pull, this again, content cadence that allows for you to spend a lot more time actually in the game playing it. So it motivates you to log in more often and to keep up to date with everything. But how do you think Where Winds Meet has made an impact on the genre? Because we've seen when Where Winds Meet released, it hit incredible numbers. There were like several million players in the first, week or two. There were hundreds of thousands of concurrent players on Steam alone. When you total in the other platforms like mobile, which, you know, did come after, but also console, which released at the same time, there were millions, potentially tens of millions of people all around the world. Content creators were covering it. People were rejoicing, saying it was one of the best releases of the year. How do you guys think it made an impact on the genre? Or do you guys think it made an impact on the genre at all?
I personally truly hope future MMO game developers are actually paying attention to this game, because I feel what Where Winds Meet did with making this game completely free of pay to win, actually making it a deep narrative story, making it social but also unsocial if you want to be, with tons to explore and do. I hope they are paying attention to that, because I would love, because you know, when larger MMOs that I won't name came out, there was a lot of copies of those games because they were so successful. And this game was indeed very successful, especially in CN, because of its amazing combat, its lack of pay to win, its just general beautiful storytelling, beautiful cutscenes, great combat. I think this really needs to be paid attention to and translated to other games. And I hope that is an impact that we see echoes of in the future, personally.
I believe the impact Where Winds Meet made on MMO is very big, because I think, as I said before, it changed the MMO style for good. And I think it's gonna be the future, because, for example, it's a AAA game and it's a free game. And as Mrs Stix said, there is no pay-to-win elements in it. And it can also be played as a single player rather than traditional MMO. You know, you can be just by yourself and you can just join the other players whenever you want. But as a social player, like, I mean, I love anything social in MMOs. I think that one of the biggest impact is you can be a doctor to heal other players. Or whether you have a partnership or discipleship, you can unlock new emotes, or things like if you just max out your partnership with other player, they can just res you during the raid, even though they don't have any rest skills. I think these little details, what makes the MMO and the people get together, and the big impact of the old school MMOs. You know, when the people all get together and they just share something, and they feel like, you know, they're like a huge community together. Yeah.
So what I'm gathering is that this is essentially just a large AAA experience that offers a lot of what AAA games offer, while also providing some, such as social aspects of an MMO, and then just kind of condensing them into something new and exciting for people to play.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Speaking of social elements, the single player experience, the AAA experience as well, how do you guys think Where Winds Meet functions in relation to MMO elements such as the inclusion of multiplayer, dungeons, raids, seeing other people out in the world, the social aspect, PvP?
Honestly, I don't see much of a difference between Where Winds Meet and other MMOs. I'm going to be quite frank. Like the main story, you need to do by yourself. I can't really think of too many MMOs offhand here where you can actually do the main story with other people. So I mean, in that aspect, like it follows along beautifully. I can also think of the dungeons, even though, you know, it's 5-player dungeons. I mean, that still goes kind of hand in hand with other MMOs, because most dungeons are 4-player dungeons. You're still gonna need your tank, your DPS, and your healer, typically. For higher tier stuff, you also have your raids, even though there are only 10-player raids, are still equally social, still require, you know, the Holy Trinity to some effect. And then, of course, you have guild wars, like you're going in and fighting a large-scale amount of people with your guild and fighting another guild and moving up through the ranks. You're also doing PvP. They added much more PvP options and modes. Like there was 1v1, 3v3. I think there's 5v5 now. I'm not much of a PvPer. I don't know if Barky knows off the top of his head. And then, of course, there's the Battle Royale PvP mode as well, which is super fun. I have actually dipped my toe in that a few times. Sometimes not of my own volition, because when you leave a sect, they'll sometimes drag you into that as punishment. And I've done that a few times. But in regards to MMOs versus this and what they offer, I think the only thing you're truly honestly missing is like the large scale raids, although 10 to me is still decently sized. And then of course a lot of people are like, yeah, for an MMO I want to see like hundreds of people moving around the world. But let's be honest here, guys, are you actually involving yourselves with them? Are you actually talking to them? I would like to know. Because I feel like my guild of 100 different players is enough socialization with me, and then we do things with other guilds as well. So that's like up to 200 people that I am talking to in a given point with this game. Whereas like I'm thinking of another game, another MMO where I did Savages. I mean, I maybe only talked to like 12 people in that game. So honestly, this game, I'm being more social than MMO games in my eyes than any other ones, because I've also done another MMO where there's, you know, mythics, and I don't think I talked to really that many people either, maybe like 30 people at max. So I feel like this game does a really great job of having those MMO elements, such as the dungeons, the raids, the large scale guild v guild, the PvP. There's not much missing, at least in my eyes. What do you think, Barky?
Yeah, I mean, you already said everything, like all the PvP aspects and the MMO elements, but I believe the thing that I really love in Where Winds Meet is it's also following the gacha style, right? But the gacha is not only like a limited banner for outfits or the standard banner for outfits, but we also have lots of events. You can't see any of that in, I don't think, any other traditional MMO. You know, like we like get events every month. You know, one of the events you can just turn into a goose and start attacking other people, or you would just go under the cave and hunt for treasures. I believe the biggest selling point for me is the events. With those events we can get extra rewards for our like martial arts, the weapons and everything. I believe the Where Winds Meet getting the good parts of gacha part not only for the limited banner or standard banners, but also the good parts as well, the events and everything, and the progression is on the other part, is also personal, not that much of a competitive. But as you said, I would love to have a more than 10 man raids. Yeah, that would be good, but I think there are limits to that right now. But maybe like they can just give a 24 man like a traditional MMO raids. Yeah, that would be cool.
I also forgot to mention the fact that we do have the quote-unquote MMO world as well that we can join, where you can see a ton of other players just hanging out. There's not much to do in that world other than just like collecting resources and hanging out, getting married, doing your discipleship stuff. But I mean, there's even little events in the MMO world. Like we can do the healing event, all of us together, and like you mentioned, there's tons of events just happening all the time in this game, which is really cool. Like oh gosh, I forget what it was called, but it's where we had to collect dung. Like that was so fun. I can't think of many MMOs that did that fun of an event. Like that was so fun.
Honestly, I feel like the events in Where Winds Meet are actually, and I hate to sound like a broken record here, but gacha games have a lot of events. You know, every time a major patch comes out, it comes with a set number of events. When MMOs release, they're like, here's a story update. You know, when they release a major patch, it's like, here's, 4, 6, 8 hours of narrative content. Here's a new dungeon. Here's a new raid. Go do the same fight, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week to get gear, and then sit there waiting for the next 6 to 8 hours of story content, and then the next dungeon or raid to do the same thing again. In gacha games and in Where Winds Meet, we're seeing a lot of fun side activities, side content, side events, things that promote just fun, entertainment, enjoyment, consumption of content that isn't just related to specifically the narrative or like a dungeon or a raid to farm gear. I think that's just providing additional reason and motivation to log in and play the game.
I think what also that really brings in that whole MMO vibe as well is the fact that we have player housing. Like you can build your own home and now your own homestead in your world, and then you can invite your friends in, and then you have the NPCs that are involved now, and you have like a living, breathing homestead with farming, like crafting. Like it's a ton of fun, whereas like in MMOs, because in ARPGs, I mean, yeah, there's some housing that pops up, but this is like social housing that you can produce in this game, and I think that really brings in the MMO element to this game even further.
When Mrs Stix said that the housing and everything, it reminded me of like what's the main core of people play MMOs, because we just want to be seen, right? We just want to flex other people, because when you think of the old MMOs or the old school MMOs, when someone dropped a very rare blade or weapon, everybody would know that person because he has that blade. In Where Winds Meet, we have so many outfits, like some of them are gachas. If you just pull for it and drop it in the first couple of pulls, and you're just wearing that dress or an outfit, everybody would look at you, like, because you are that person. Or if you just build a very cool house, you can invite people, and they can just see it, and you can just show everyone. I believe Where Winds Meet does it really good on flexing on other people, because the core idea of MMOs is you have something that other people's don't have, and you just want to show it to everyone.
That was me back in MMOs. Like I'd have like a plus 12 or plus 15 upgraded weapon. You'd have all the shiny effects around it, and like the special effects would, I don't know, extend like 10, 15 feet. You'd have like that 0.005% rare amount that you got for running the same dungeon or raid for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for an entire 3-year period. Yeah, I understand the whole flexing on other people aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I'm taking my mermaid outfit and going to the MMO world, and I'm going to show that off. And I know somebody's going to DM me and be like, can you buy for me? Ooh.
I mean, that's the core nature of MMOs. We just want to be seen. We just want to flex. That's the whole idea of MMOs.
Everyone will look
pretty. Whether you are a guild leader, good PvP score, good outfit, good housing, you just want to be good at something and show off to other people. I think that's the basic nature of, yeah.
Piggybacking off of that, 2.0 is releasing, or maybe has released as of this video going live. Hopefully it has. The new update introduces 4 new main areas, 14 sub-regions, 10 new bosses, 8 Jianghu legacies, dozens of side stories. The amount of content coming, and this is just scratching the surface. The amount of content coming in this update is unlike anything the game has had up until this point. We also have this new like vertical style of world to explore, long progression. There are thousands of NPCs with individual daily routines, functional mechanisms. They have new styles of life and presentation. There are new vibrant ecosystems. What do you guys think about the new world itself, disregarding like the combat, disregarding the exploration, just the world? What do you guys think of 2.0?
Well, personally, I haven't spoiled myself too much on what is coming on the 23rd of July, which, you know, I don't know if this video is going to be out before then, but I know I'm personally looking forward to the gauntlets. I do want to try it out, even though, you know, I'm a Fanbrella user. Like, that's my main home of weapon choice. But I'm still really excited to try it out because, you know, a good punch to the face, you know, that looks like fun to me. But I'm also curious about the new sect that we're getting, which is the Most Hill. I would like to kind of dabble in that because I think I've tried almost every sect now at this point. And eventually, you know, I'll go back to Silver Needle because as a nurse, you know, I got to return to my original form. But I'm just really excited to give that a try. I'm also excited to explore the region and just continue with the story. The story of Where Winds Meet just captured me from the get-go. Like, if you guys go back on our Married to Gaming channel, like where I was covering just the betas, like I was just like, guys, this is a story that has literally made me laugh and cry, and it takes a little bit for a story to actually genuinely make me cry, and this does this for me, and I'm so excited for the new raids as well, and the 5-player dungeons. I'm curious of what events will come out. I'm also excited, you know, I don't know, to me it's like a steampunk theme almost, inventor focused theme, and I'm excited to see that come into play.
Okay, I think like the one of the biggest feature is the 2.0 visuals, and the as far as I can say, it's like a not even AAA anymore. It's like a quadruple A game, and it's completely free. And that map is nothing like we have ever seen so far. It's not flat anymore. It's like a vertical. There's like so many layers to that, and we're gonna have like so many new mechanics. Like you can build your own zip lines, your own railways, and you can basically create your own roller coaster, right? And it just gives you the too much freedom in it. And we had pets introduced to the game in the previous update, and now with this we are getting a pet combat, and as they call it, cutie clash. But it's not just pets are fighting with each other. It's like they have their own skills, they have their own mechanics and everything. It's kind of like a roguelike. I think many people gonna enjoy that. And also the other big feature is we're gonna have a new sect, the Mrs Stix. And I believe the biggest thing in any MMOs is every class or everything you pick should have their own identity, right? Like not similar to other one. And this mod is still completely different than any other sect or the play styles we had. They are basically building constructions, and while they're taking the identity of other sects, they are very, very secretive about that. And they also have their signature weapon that coming up, which is gauntlets. It's the most awaited weapon. I believe this 2.0 is basically Where Winds Meet 2, and there are so many good innovations in it. And yeah, this is I think like this is where we peak. Yeah.
So we have a lot of new areas coming. We have the new vertical style of exploration and progression. We have entirely new forms of exploration. There are new mechanics. There are new puzzles. We have the new sect, the Mrs Hill, which sounds very, very fun. We also have new combat, such as the gauntlet in the form of a new weapon. We have the bamboo cut kite. We have new mechanics present in different boss fights. I mean, this game, like, and then that isn't factoring in the technical and the quality of life upgrades. That isn't including the new cosmetic appearances. That isn't including the new draws that you get as part of the release of 2.0. There's just like, as you noted, Barky, 2.0 isn't just like 2.0. It's effectively Where Winds Meet 2. And I mean, like, let's be real, the game was already very good. Improving upon that and just elaborating with as much as they have is just going to be like a visual spectacle and treat that I think players have been wanting for, I don't know, God knows how long now. Also, they're introducing the new boss fights with new bosses with new mechanics. Are you guys ready to have your asses handed to you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am raid leader and I have led our guild to victory many times. We've gone in blind, have we not, Barky?
I mean, as long as you carry me, I think I'm gonna be fine.
Exactly. We go in blind to these fights because that's what our guild does, and we kill it within like second try or even first try. Like, we got this. This is no trouble. We're pros.
That's how you do it. Going in blind is the best way. Real quick though, just to end this, what do you guys think the future of Where Winds Meet holds? Do you think it's going to continue to expand? You guys think that we're going to get like lots of new classes? I mean, I know, Barky, you've played on the Chinese version of the game, but even going beyond that, like what do you want, I think, is a better question out of Where Winds Meet, both of you?
I think in the future, what I would really like to see from Where Winds Meet is, of course, more weapon types. I think they will continue to deliver on that, and I would love to have more exploration and maybe potentially bigger raids. I would actually really enjoy that. Like, maybe just some special big raid in the future. And I would love to just have more story where our young master is challenged as they just continue to grow and be challenged by all these different things as we learn more of Chinese history and our own personal history as a young master, and meeting all these wonderful characters along the way. And of course, you know, new outfits so we look good doing it. You know, I love a good outfit. I would also love to be surprised by something. I don't know what necessarily that would be, but I would love Where Winds Meet to just come out of left field with something where we're like, oh my gosh, this is like a whole new game. Maybe Where Winds Meet 3. I would love for that to come into play, because I think Where Winds Meet continues to surprise me each time something new comes out, and I would just like to see that continue.
Yeah, I would also love to have bigger raids with more players, but I like PvP a lot, and as for PvP, I would love more PvP mods rather than 1v1 or 3v3, just like, you know, like a generic capture the flag type PvP, like 10 versus 10 or like a 20 versus 20, or just like a castle fights. Yeah, that would be really cool. And of course, I would want more outfits. Yeah, more outfits. Yeah.
I would also like to see more Guild v Guild maps. Like, doing the same one every week is getting old, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be really good.
Where Winds Meet 2.0 has arrived. This is the biggest update to date. You can master the all-new Gauntlet weapon. You can explore the hidden mountain. Where Winds Meet's first fully vertical map. You can uncover the secrets of the new Moist Hill sect. You can take on epic new raid bosses, solve mechanism puzzles, and discover new content as Where Winds Meet enters the Wuxia new era. Play the game right now by clicking my sponsored link down below.